Yo, good evening, USA, International Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, the tri state areas of New Jersey, Connecticut, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, rhymes with now or later. Your host with the most misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable, independent podcaster, creator, and YouTuber and Queens, New York native, who is also a New York Mets fan from the neck of the woods, the neck of the woods, who's also a New York Giants fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. You are now rocking with me by listening, tuning in, streaming, and watching the 157th episode of the entertainment review show Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, the platform to talk about some things in reviews as far as what's going on in music news, what's going on with the reviews and music discographies as far as singers, rappers, hip hop artists. I mean, you just name it. And then there's movies, TV shows, old and new, and then there's some video game news. All right. So, and I hope y'all enjoyed the nice weather this week. There's gonna be more. It's gonna be more tomorrow, Sunday through Monday. So most likely, I will try to go out on Monday to take care of an application for a job opportunity mission that I have to do. So there you go. Anyway, man. Let's get started. Let's get started with this. Music Kool-Aid. All right. Let's do this. Hold on 1 second. All right. Okay, today's episode, which is titled "Moments of the New Jersey Natives," which is dedicated to the the amounts of music, singles, discographies. Um, One in particular has to do with Gabi the Artist, and then we'll go over some Redman's music discography and its accomplishments and stuff. So there you go, right there. So let's get to it. All right, so um hold on. It's taking so long to load. Um all right, so um all right, so for those of you who may not know, I'm actually dedicating this person um in terms of Women's History Month. I wanted to actually dedicate this to Gabi the Artist. For those of you who may not know, Gabi the Artist is a multi-talented singer, songwriter, acoustic guitarist who writes, composes, and produces music that her fans can't get enough of. Her live performances are high energy, engaging, and very entertaining. Gabi the Artist is based in Montclair, New Jersey, and has performed in venues and festivals across the New York metropolitan area and Southern California. Her alternative pop rock sound is known to captivate and energize any crowd. She has been featured in media outlets such as the Montclair Local, Montclair Patch, NewJersey.com, WVMR, and Urban Radio Show. With over 19,000 followers on social media, Gabby the Artist continues to gain support and praise from people across the country. You can stream music by Gabby the Artist on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, and many more digital platforms wherever you listen to music. So Gabby the Artist is a Montclair, New Jersey girl whose life's mission from a very young age has been to be an artist, a writer, and a musician. Through her talent and self-determination, Gabby is passionate and self-taught guitarist, singer, songwriter who can mix her own tracks and create her own beats. Gabby's mixed Latino and African American heritage has exposed her to all types of music and art throughout her life. Some of her music influences are Prince, Selena, the late greats, Prince, Selena, and of course, No Doubt. But her most influential is her rock star cousin, the late great Ray Gillen. Ray was the lead singer for Black Sabbath before co-creating Badlands with Jake E. Lee. Their songs have hit the top of the MTV charts and are still covered by various artists today. Gabby the Artist has been featured in showcases across the metro New York area. She has also traveled as close as Pennsylvania and as far as California, electrifying audiences with high energy and exciting engagement. Her performances often feature rapper Freckface Lori, and who is also Gabby's little sister. Gabby is always working on growing as a musician. During this global slamdemic, she created a space in her home and and held live shows for her fans with a focus on hope and healing for those who are hurting. She has also taken an amazing digital class with the legendary Carlos Santana to hone her guitar skills. She is also spending lots of time in her home studio producing new music. Gabby the Artist is grateful for all the supporters who inspire her to continue to grow as a talented songwriter, musician, and high energy, engaging performer. Of course, stay tuned for her upcoming album. Yeah, I will say this. I will say this though. I did get a chance to listen to her singles on Spotify, man, and I gotta say, man, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, and I think each of her songs has like a message. She's like a storyteller. You know what I'm saying? So if you get a chance, be sure to check her music out on Spotify and other streaming platforms wherever you listen to music. Her music is pretty dope, man. You should check it out. All right, now let's go on to Redman and his accomplishments. Yes, so yeah, man. So all right, I'm not gonna say his government name. Redman is an American rapper and record producer. He rose to fame in the early 1990s as an artist on Def Jam Recordings. Um, damn, he's 55. Shit. Yeah. He is well known for his collaborations with his close friend Method Man as one half of the rap duo Method Man and Redman, including their starring roles in films and sitcoms, which include How High and Method and Red. He was also a member of the Def Squad in the late 1990s. Yeah, I'm not gonna really do all that. Yeah. Yeah, born on April 17th, 1970, and raised in Newark, New Jersey, Redman attended Speedway Avenue School and 13th Avenue School before excuse me, attending West Side High School, an experience he described as off the hook. In 1987, Redman was expelled from Montclair State University his freshman year due to poor academic performance at age 16. Having no other options, Redman then went back home to live with his mother, Darlene Noble, who eventually kicked him out of her house for selling cocaine. 2 years later, at age 18, Redman was a young DJ MC who went by the name DJ Cut Killer. He freestyled over funk and hip hop instrumental tracks on vinyl records in various parks and house parties around New York and New Jersey. Redman was discovered by Eric Sherman of EPMD while he was a DJ for Lords of the Underground. Sherman said when he met Redman for the first time, I knew there was something spectacular about him. Right off the bat, the next day we talked, and within the next 2 or 3 months, he moved to Long Island to my crib. He moved right into my apartment. After moving in with Sermon, Redman went out on tour with EPMD. While on tour with the group, he did everything from carrying their bags to coming out on stage and doing rap freestyles. In 1990, at an EPMD show in New York, Redman was invited on stage by Eric Sermon, where he delivered a rap freestyle that changed his life. He freestyled a song describing himself as a rapper using every letter in the alphabet from A to Z. After this, Redman was an official rap artist and began production with Eric Sermon on his first major label album, What the Album. Music careers. Let's get to his music accomplishments. Um, what the album and There Is a Dark Side from 1990 to 1995. In 1990, Redman made his official debut on EPMD's album Business as Usual, appearing on tracks, appearing on the tracks Hardcore and Brothers on My Jock. In 1992, Redman released his debut album, What the Album, which all music noted for blending reggae and funk influences with a terse though fluid rap style. The album peaked at number 49 on the Billboard 200 and was certified gold. He was named Rap Artist of the Year by The Source. Redman followed this up with his 1994 album There Is a Dark Side. Um, hold on, hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to put it on mute for a minute because of the music outside. All right, so where was I? Yeah, so the first singing Rockefeller samples Leon Haywood's I Wanna Do Something Freaky to You and George Clinton's Flashlight. Two of the most sampled songs in hip hop. Redman's second album was notable for having most of the tracks produced by the artist himself. Later on, Redman would let other producers make most of his beats. During this time, he used former mentor Eric Sermon to produce his records, including Pick It Up and Whatever Man from Muddy Waters. In 1992, Redman appeared in a Tribe Called Quest's Scenario music video. Redman released his second studio album, There Is a Dark Side, on November 22nd, 1994, by Def Jam Recordings. The album debuted at 13 on the US Billboard 200. The album was certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America. Redman has said that he was on drugs during the recording of the album and said in 2010 that he had not played the album in recent years because it was made during a particularly dark period in his life. Muddy Waters from 1996 to 1997. On December 10th, 1996, Redman released his third album, Muddy Waters, which was highly praised by critics. The album featured two of his Billboard's hit singles, Whatever Man and It's Like That, My Big Brother. The song Do What You Feel appeared on the soundtrack to the video game Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. Liberty City Stories. The album was certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America on February 12, 1997. During this time, with newfound friendships with Method Man and Tupac, they both appeared on Tupac's double album All Eyes on Me on the song Got My Mind Made Up. In 1999, Redman took part in the Hard Knock Life tour, including a stop in Toronto at the Air Canada Centre. Docs the Name 2000 and Blackout 1998 to 1999. In 1998, Redman released his first collaboration album, El Nino, with group Def Squad. His his fourth studio album, Docs the Name 2000, was a top seller, shipping platinum in sales and exceeding his previous record of gold. It peaked at number 11 on the Billboard 200 and had three songs: I'll Be That, The Goodness, Let the Monkey Out, that charted. With his label mate Method Man, Redman made a featured appearance on the Docs the Name 2000 record on the song Well, All Right Ya. In 1999, Method Man and Redman released a collaborative album called Blackout. 2001, Malpractice. In 2001, Redman released his fifth studio album, Malpractice. It reached number 4 on the Billboard 200 and was certified gold by the RIAA on July 21st, 2001. It boosted two singles, Let's Get Dirty, I Can't Get in the Club, and Smash Something. Mixtapes, collaborations, and production 2002 to 2006. Since the release of Malpractice, he has kept his fans happy by independently releasing the Ill at Will mixtapes, which feature various members of his new record label, Gilla House members under Redman's Gilla House imprint. Include um, Socrates, Icarus, Ready, Rock, Eve 3, Young Heat, and Melanie. Redman had his best known international hit with Christina Aguilera when he was featured on her 2002 single Dirty. Around this time, he was also featured on a popular remix of Pink's track Get This Party Started. He is cited in the song Till I Collapse as rapper, Eminem's favorite rapper. Under his birth name, Reggie Noble, Redman, Redman has produced music for himself, many of his crew members, and even Shaquille O'Neal, aka Shaq, on the Shaq Fu, The Return album. Red Gone Wild 2007 to 2008. In March 2007, Redman released Red Gone Wild, produced by Chris Pinsett. He stated on MySpace that the reason for the long wait to drop the album was the fast changing pace of hip hop. On March 27, 2007, Redman confirmed on BET's Rhapsody The Basement that the sequel to How High 2 was currently being written. In an April 10th, 2007, Onion AV Club interview, Redman hinted that there would be a second collaborative album with Method Man. Blackout 2 and Reggie 2009 to 2010. Blackout 2 was announced in 2007 by Redman and was originally scheduled for release in 2008, but its release was pushed back a number of times due to numerous reasons. In early 2008, a remake of the Smooth the Hustler and Trigger the Gamer classic Broken Language was released on the internet by the duo entitled Broken Language 2008, fueling rumors of a Blackout sequel coming soon. This rumor was further fueled by the duo while performing in Gainesville, Florida, at the University of Florida. A Blackout LP was scheduled for a December 9th, 2008 release, but was recently pushed back to the first quarter of 2009. It was finally released on May 19, 2009. It debuted at number 7 on the Billboard 200, at number 2 on the top R&B hip hop albums, at number 2 on the top rap albums, and digital, and charted number 7 on the digital albums charts, selling 63,000 copies in its first week. The album also charted number 10 on the Canadian albums chart. The album has sold 160,375 copies in the United States by December 12, 2009, according to SoundScan. In May 2009, Redman confirmed his next solo album would come out December 2009. The title for the project is Reggie Noble. Reggie Noble 09 and a half. The title of the album was then changed to just Redman Presents Reggie. And 3 singles, Cop Back, All Mine, and Money on My Mind, were released. The first single, Cock Back, which features Ready Rock, had music video filmed and released for it. But as it turns out, none of the tracks made the final cut of the album, only being promo singles. During the interview, Redman stated that Reggie Noble, Redman's own birth name, does the album, not Redman. Redman also said that there is going to be more popish type songs rather his normal rugged and hardcore songs. After a few pushbacks, Redman Presents Reggie was finally released on December 7th, 2010. The first official single is Def Jammable, and a video was released for the single. It has been confirmed that Redman will appear on a remix along with French rapper Soprano of Train Trainate by Italian rapper Fabri Fibra. 2011 to the present, Muddy Waters 2, Mudface, and 3 Joints. In June 2013, Redman announced that his next studio album, Muddy Waters 2, would be released in late 2013 via Entertainment One, and he would release a mixtape to go along with it, which evolved into an EP titled Muddy Waters 2, The Preload. Redman has also confirmed work on Blackout 3 with Method Man, with recording starting summer 2012. However, recording was pushed back to late 2014. Mudface was released on November 13th, 2015, with Blackout 3 coming out after, and Method Man's long-awaited mixtape and 5th solo album directly following these projects. Method Man and Redman also slated to be working on a long rumored sequel to their original stoner comedy, How High. An EP called 3 Joints was released on his Gilla House label in 2020 as further work on other albums continues. In 2021, together with producer Chris Pinsett, Redman has released 80 bars music video that quickly gained almost 3,000 views on YouTube. On October 7th, 2024, Redman shared a cover image to Muddy Waters 2 on his social media, hinting at a sequel to his acclaimed album Muddy Waters. The album was officially released on December 24th, 2024. Yeah, December 24th, 2024. All right, so other than that, he did some acting actually. In 2001, Redman co-starred with Method Man in the stoner comedy film How High, which featured the pair playing 2 marijuana-addled students attempting to survive at Harvard. Redman played a major role in the horror film Seed of Chucky. Redman Method Man and Redman also appeared in Def Jam Vendetta, Def Jam Fight for New York, and Def Jam Icon video games, often as tag team partners, and briefly had their own television sitcom Method and Red on Fox during the 2003 to 2004 season. In the music video for the Offspring's single Original Prankster, Redman plays the part of the conscious telling the original prankster what pranks to pull. In 2004, Redman co-starred with Method Man in the Nickelodeon cartoon The Fairly Odd Parents in School's Out, the musical, rapping the Pixies rap. Fashion. In April 2015, Redman released a collaboration with New York-based streetwear brand Mighty Healthy. The 420 theme collection includes jerseys, t-shirts, hats, and other items with cannabis-related graphics. In August 2017, it was announced that Redman would host the first season of VH1's Scared Famous, which premiered on October 23rd, 2017. So there you go, right there. Um, there you go, right there. All right, so now on to some new music that's going on today. Um, Happy Friday, of course. Kanye West's new album Bully is finally here, sort of. While the long-awaited project has yet to hit streaming services, Ye did premiere his 12th LP via a YouTube live stream, about an hour after its scheduled midnight release. Yeezy's first album since he apologized for his anti-Semitic behavior. Bully features collaborations with the likes of Travis Scott, Ty Dolla $ign, and CeeLo Green across 14 tracks, some of which mark the return of his classic soul sampling sound. Stove God Cooks and Busta Rhymes fans have also been left scratching their heads by the unexplained absence of All This For Me, Stove's new Swiss Beats produced album, and Busta's Talk Your Shit collab with Jay Dilla and Lil Wayne, both of which were supposed to drop today. However, there's still plenty of other new releases worth checking out this new Music Friday. Earl Sweatshirt and Mike continue to stake their claim as rap's best lyrical tag team with their subterranean new single "Lead Belly." The Locks make a welcome comeback with the reflective R&B favorite "Never Change," and Snoop Dogg reunites with Knots for a bouncy new West Coast anthem called um Stop Counting My um Pockets. Well, I meant to say pockets, but okay. Off his upcoming album and short film 10 Till Midnight, out April 10th. In addition to new projects from Central C, Juvenile, Chief Keef, and the recently freed Fetty Wap, Yeet continues to cement himself as a modern day star with his sixth LP ADL, which boasts an insane supporting cast featuring the likes of Elton John, NBA YoungBoy, Kid Cudi, Grimes, and even Kylie Jenner. Don't know why Kylie Jenner is getting into the rap game or whatever. But anyway, excuse me. Okay, so the Bully album. Okay, so the Bully album features Travis Scott, Ty Dolla $ign, CeeLo Green, Havoc from Mobb Deep, Northwest. Oh gosh, why? James Blake, Nine Vicious, Tony Williams, and Andre Trotman. I don't think anybody believes his fucking apology, man. To be honest with you, I don't believe that shit because I think he's faking the fucking funk. He's faking the funk. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel about that. I hate when people start to fake the funk and they try to force it to people. Like I hate that shit. I really do. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. All right. Yeah. Um. Oh man. Uh, Sorry, I had to make my point in regards to this guy Kanye West, man. This guy is a fucking snake, man. Now it's sudden he wants to damn fucking apologize. Come on, man. I bet you it's a fake apology. Anyway, anyway, let's keep going here. So, in other music stuff, of course, Earl Sweatshirt, Mike and Surf Gang, Lead Belly, produced by Harrison, um, um, Ellie Proper, and Tony Seltzer. Snoop Dogg, Stop Counting My Pockets, produced by Knots. Um, The Locks featuring Jaheim and Trent Shelton, Never Changed. Yeet, LDL, featuring NBA Youngboy, Elton John, Kid Cudi, Swiss Beats, Don Tolliver. Why Kylie Jenner, man? I don't know how you're gonna go there. Anyway, BNYX, 070 Shake, and Joe G. Grimes, Julia Wolf. Larry June, Still Calculating Freestyle. Freddie Wap, Xavier, featuring Wiz Khalifa, Max B, G Herbo, Tink Monty, Honey Baby, Y Manny, Divinity, and Rob McCoy. Right. So you got Juvenile, Boiling Point, which is out right now, featuring Megan Thee Stallion, Birdman, Manny Fresh, BG, Timbaland, Swizz Beats, DJ Khaled, Jacquees, D1, Trombone Shorty. Yeah, Fabio Foreign still standing. Tory Lanez, Polo G, Lil TJ, and Trey Songs. Beer, we go. Hold on, we on Go Pack EP featuring Denzel Curry, ASAP Ferg, Tia Corinne, The Honorable, and C Note. Central C, All Roads Lead Home EP, J Hus, A2, A2 Anti, Joyner Lucas featuring NBA Youngboy, Deep End, produced by um featuring Alex or Six, Shantae Marie, KX KXVI, Leo Sun, and ADHD Productions. Huh. Okay. Chief Keef Skeletor featuring G Herbal, Rich the Kid, and Ian, Rich the Kid, Ian, and Ball Out. Jazzy soundtrack to Get Her Back, featuring Mary J. Blige, Chris Brown, Jeremiah, John B, Kayon Harold, Stevie J, Cardiac, Bongo by the Way. Rob 49 and YTB Fat featuring Lil Yachty, G Herbo, G Youngin, and BTY Beto, the Fox remix. Produced by Shife, 1040 Beats, and Miller Beats. Baldy James. Oh man, I'm sorry, man. Baldy James, MC Search, and Hands Up. What the Stove Say. Marlon Craft, The Neighborhood, produced by The Count, Cartoons, River Tiber, Marlon Craft, and Sly Fifth Avenue. Eric Bellinger, Cry in Front of You. Jim Legacy, featuring Natanya, I don't know. Produced by Jim Legacy, Joe Stanley, Full Stop Nathan, um, um, Hainez, Boy Red, and Vuko. Kota the Friend. Local Art Dealer Volume 1 featuring Rome Streets. Momo Boyd, She's a Sweetheart, produced by Brendan Shoop. Young Blue, World at War, featuring Trap Dicky, Honeycomb Brazy, and Jack Boys. Nicholas F. The Undisputed, featuring, well, it's not applicable. Um, YG Tut, Sunset of the Titan Twilight. Kaylin Ellis featuring Madison McFerrin and Sweater. Hello Morning. Produced by Kaylin Ellis. Um, and Kembe X Crooks and Castles. All right, make sure you check those out on Spotify and wherever you get your music. All right, I want to get to this. I want to get to this actually. Let's see. So J. Cole finally opened up about Drake and Kendrick Lamar's beef in first in his first series of interviews since he controversially bowed out of the high-profile rap battle, sitting down with Apple Music's Nadeska Alexis for one of many in-depth conversations about his latest album, The Fall Off. The Dreamville star explained why he apologized to Kendrick for his since deleted diss track, 7 Minute Drill. And he said, in quote, "The idea hit me about an hour before I went out on stage at Dreamville Fest," he said. "In that moment, I felt lifted and I got light and I got excited because the 2 or 3 days before that, I was stressing the fuck out. I felt like I had misrepresented myself. I was giving life to division and to negative storylines about somebody that I fuck with and I got love for and care about. That shit had me feeling terrible. I was like, this shit don't feel right. I felt miserable about it." Cole also revealed that his wife started crying when he told her that he was going to make peace with Kendrick because she knows how I feel about him and she saw how it was weighing on me that the 2 or 3 days before that. The North Carolina native went on to admit that he was aware of the widespread backlash over his decision to wave the white flag. And while he doesn't regret his actions, the criticism did make a dent in his confidence. "The world didn't give a fuck about how great I felt after the apology, and they were fucking me up. My name, my reputation, although the lightness that I felt made it easier to deal with. Over time, I had to process that shit and I had to get right," he said. "It always felt like the right move, but there were times where I thought, damn nigga, you are fucking done right now. It's over." That brought up emotions and fears that I had to sit with and fight. Cole added that it was hard to block out the noise because every other motherfucking video he came across on YouTube was about him. I knew it. I knew it was bad because people were calling and texting to check on me like, "Yo, you good, bro?" He joked. In a separate interview with Cameron, which puts their bizarre legal battle to bed, J. Cole opened up about his current relationship with both Drake and Kendrick Lamar now that the dust has settled on their 2024 showdown. "I'm in the same place where I genuinely love these niggas, but I'm not gonna act like we've been communicating and talking," he said. "I've had conversations with them post everything, but not like a lot. That's me not knowing where they are at. That's me not knowing where they are at." He added in quote, "I genuinely love these niggas. I be wanting to shoot off a text. Even saying that on the mic is kind of lame to me, but it is my truth." The 41-year-old rap, the 40 the 41-year-old also expressed disgust at the intense division between Drake and Kendrick's respective fan bases, as well as the level of hate that Drizzy has faced since losing the battle. Right away, the world became like politics. You either Democrat or Republican. You either Kendrick or Drake. You got to pick a side. He dismayed. Create, creative, creative, creatively. Excuse me. Um, it it's not my place to say whether it got out of hand. But to me, it's disgusting how people try to use that opportunity to either show how they really felt about Drake the whole time or just pile on and tear this dude down and create a narrative as if he's not great. It was a whole campaign and probably still is to this day. Cole did, however, congratulate Kendrick on the enormous success he has enjoyed ever after emerging victorious over Drake, even if it has come at the expense of his first person shooter collaborator. Excuse me. When I saw Kendrick get the moment he had, the pop out, the stadium, the Super Bowl, the Grammys, I'm just as proud as this nigga as I was when I knew him back then. He said, but I also hate that for Drake, and I hate how the world has turned on him simultaneously. I'm also like, I hope Iceman goes crazy. Snippets of J. Cole and Cameron's conversation you can see below. The full interview airs. It's already out right now, actually, and it's already on Revolt and on YouTube. So this is you can also catch Cameron's Talk with Fleek podcast on the Revolt YouTube channel page. All right. So there you go. There you go, right there. And let me see. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Um, what else? So, all right. Let me see. Okay, wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. Anything else in music news to talk about? Let me see. Let me see something here. Oh boy. Let me see. Let me see. Let's see what else. What else? Ooh, the 20 best Wu-Tang Clan albums. Let's take a look here. Hmm. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's take a look here. So it's been more than 30 years since Wu-Tang Clan dropped their seminal debut, Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. One of the best um rap albums ever. It laid the foundation for an empire. In the years since, the original nine have released five more official albums, with each member pursuing a solo career and side projects. Along the way, a number of Wu Tang affiliates have grown up beneath the Staten Island Group's banner. Um, of course, after the late great Old Dirty Bastard's death of the affiliates, Capadonna became an official member of the group. Needless to say, sifting through the expansive catalog of the entire collective, its members and affiliated artists, and ranking the best of all the albums is a gargantuan task. We here at Complex spent the past few weeks battling, so batting our heads together, arguing with each other until we were woo in the face, trying to come up with a definitive list. Now we now we know you've got your favorites too. Where is Bobby Digital in stereo? Where is the First Sons of Man album? Ghost Dog soundtrack? Jizzes Beneath the Surface? What about Shaheen? Grandmasters? There are plenty of great albums that didn't make the list. That doesn't mean they aren't good in their own right. But the thing about Wu Tang is that they presented so many different approaches to hip hop, each one with its own distinctive flavor. These albums are the ones you need to get the best taste to make a full meal, as Raekwon the chef might put it. Think we screwed up, left out essentials, put them in the wrong order. Of course, let me see. Best 20 albums. Okay, so number 20, Inspect the Deck, Uncontrolled Substance, 1999. This feature, this has produced his fourth disciple, the Blacksmiths, Inspect the Deck, Mathematics, Pete Rock, RZA, True Master, and Vic. The features includes La the Dark Man, Kinetic Nine, Killer Sin, Street Life, um, Shadi, You God, Vania, Mojica, and Master Killer. At the time of its release, its controlled substance had been pushed back by his loud records so many times that it seemed like the album might never come out. But then Beoid by the lead single Word on the Street, it did. Sadly, outside of diehard Wu fans, it never really caught on. That was okay because even though it didn't achieve commercial success, it was still one of the crew's best albums. Songs like Forget Me Not and Loving You spoke to the ladies, while Rec Room, Friction, and Hyper Hypodermics, among others, highlighted what Deck was truly known for: rapid fire lyricism. And then there was Show and Prove, a God body OD that was a true motivator before aspirational rap songs became, well, a thing. Number 19, Wu Tang Clan The W, 2000. All right. Producers include RZA and Mathematics. Features Redman, Nas, Snoop Dogg, Junior Reed, the late great Isaac Hayes, DJ Case, the late great DJ K Slay, Street Life, and Busta Rhymes. After pulling it out, After pulling out all the bells and whistles for Wu Tang Forever, 3 years later, the group returned with the W, showcasing a much simpler approach. The project was a mere 12 songs. And it didn't have the sweeping arrangements and embellishments. In their place was the original Wu formula: stripped down beats, soul samples, and Coop, excuse me, um, clips from Kung Fu flicks, which reminded us why we fell in love with the group in the first place. That isn't to say they didn't push the envelope though. Gravel Pit was their first obvious attempt at a club song, and the Junior Reed assisted Ja World dabbled in roots reggae. They even managed to snag Isaac Hayes for I Can't Go to Sleep, the torturous ballad rapped over a loop of Hayes's classic Walk On By. At the time when the Wu Tang flag was flying at half mast, the W raised it back up. Number 18, Killer Priest, Heavy Mental, 1988. Producers includes Killer Priest, True Master, Y Kim, Fourth Disciple, The Arabian Night, and John the Baptist. Features Inspector Deck, Jizzer, late great Old Dirty Bastard, Takita, Hellraiser, 60 Seconds Assassin, Father Lord, um, R.I.P. Shang 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 Shanghai, The Messenger. Though it had almost zero commercial potential, longtime Wu affiliate Killer Priest dropped his debut record, Heavy Mental, in 1998. Priest made no attempt to fit in with the rap lodges at the time, instead delivering an underground album filled with lyrics inspired by various theological subjects. Though in hindsight, a project like this seems like a daunting task, if not a boring experience in of itself. Who wants to listen to music for a history lesson? Heavy metal packed a bevy great beats from producers like Fourth Disciple, True Master, and Y Kim the Ill Figure. The beats more than made up for its lack of easy listening appeal. Number 17, Killer Army's Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, 1997. Producers include RZA and Fourth Disciple. Features Street Life, Hellraiser, Prodigal Son, and Master Killer. Of the dozens of Wu-Tang affiliated groups, perhaps none were more influential than Kill Army. The group's members Is Lord, Knife Prince, Shogun Assassin, Killer Sin, Dom Pacino, Beretta 9, and producer Fourth Disciple, all hailed from Staten Island and Steubenville, Ohio. They made they made spotty appearances throughout the years. They made spotty appearances throughout the years on 12 12 singles from other groups like Sons of Man and the Gravediggers. But their debut album, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, inspired by William Cooper's conspiracy theorist Bible, Behold a Pale Horse, was about as close to a perfect underground rap album as one could make back in 1997. On songs like Wake Up, Swinging Swords, and Woo Renegades, the beats alone were enough to make necks hurt from snapping so hard. Number 16, Capadonna, The Pillage, 1998. Um, Producers include RZA, Fourth Disciple, Goldfingers, Mathematics, True Master. Features You Got, Method Man, Ghostface Killer, Raekwon the Chef, Blue Raspberry, Killer Bams, Rhyme Wrecker, and Takita. When RZA do his thing, motherfucker, I'ma do mine. Capadonna famously quipped on Fish from Ghostface's Iron Man after riding shotgun on that album and appearing heavily on Wu-Tang Forever. The table was set for Donna to make his mark. The next year, RZA launched Razor Sharp Records through Epic and quickly inked his comrade to a deal. The Pillage saw a 1998 release lead off with the now classic Slang editorial. Backed by production from the Wu Elements, RZA, True Master, Fourth Disciple, and Mathematics, there was simply no way that Cap could fail to deliver a truly comprehensive Shaolin experience. Number 15, Wu-Tang Clan, Iron Flag, 2001. Producers include RZA, True Master, Mathematics, Nick Fury, Track Masters. Features Flavor Flav from Public Enemy and Ronald Isley from the Isley Brothers. Released just a year after the W, Iron Flag saw the group finally embracing change in a very real way. The sound of hip hop had moved on, and the Wu was getting left behind. So sonically, RZA ditches his signature lo-fi drums for crispy snares and kicks on songs like Chrome Wheels and In the Hood. He even recruits the track masters for the Ron Ozzy assisted Back in the Game, an R&B tinge tune clearly aimed at radio. Hold on. All right. But Iron Flag really shines when the Wu Tang formula isn't ditched, but rather merely tweaked for the modern listener. So there's the jam band vibes of Babies, the soulful bump of Iron Flag, and the smooth glide of One of These Days, which gives the album its real appeal. Not a perfect project, but a damn good one. Number 14, the Pretty Tony album, 2004. Producers includes Ghostface, RZA, True Master, No ID, Knots, and Emil. Features Trife the God, Jadakiss, Chic Luch, Styles P, Missy Elliott, Ala Real, Jackie O, Music Soul Child, and K Fox. Fresh off of his standout guest verse on G Dep's special delivery, Ghostface special delivery remix, Ghostface's industry stock rose exponentially, and he subsequently landed a deal on Def Jam. His fourth solo project, the Pretty Tony album, found the label nixing the killer from his name, but only lightly toying with his formula. To that end, there was the Missy Elliott assisted Tush, a clear play at a radio hit, and Run, a mixtape favorite featuring Jadakiss. Elsewhere, the beats were soul drenched. Save Me Dear, Be This Way, and Holla, among others. Or downright haunting concept fly shit, Metal Lungies. Stark's catalog is stocked with great albums, but the Pretty Tony album still holds up as one of his best. Number 13, Ghostface Killer, Fish Scale, 2006. Producers includes Ghostface Killer, the late great MF Doom. I don't know his music, and also the late great Jay Dilla. Just Blaze, um, Diddy, aka Sean Combs, Cool and Dre, Crack Val, Moss, Lewis Parker, Pete Rock, Sean Kane, and LV Studio Steve and Extreme. This features Wu Tang Clan, Raekwon the Chef, Neo, Trife, Capadonna, Sean Wiggs, Sun God, Megan Rochelle, and the late great Notorious B.I.G., aka Biggie Smalls. No member of the Wu has been as consistent as Ghostface, whereas the Pretty Tony album dealt largely with relationships and such. His fifth LP, Fish Scale, finds him back in the trap, serving up another dose of that raw dope. From Kilo to Big Girl to Back Like That to Three Bricks to really almost any other song on the album, Ghost shows he's a master at never losing the plot. Number 12, Method Man and Redman Blackout 1999. Producers includes Redman, Eric Sermon, DJ Scratch, Gov Matic, Mathematics, Rockwilder, and RZA. This features LL Cool J, Blue Raspberry, Ghostface, Street Life, Mally G, and Young Z. After collaborating in 1985 on the song How High from the show soundtrack, it was obvious that Def Jam label mates Method Man and Redman had some serious creative synergy. So they got into so they got in the studio um ostensibly smoked a whole lot of weed, and came up with Blackout, a full length LP released 4 years ago. Production was largely handled by Eric Sermon, who funk infused soundscapes were drastically different from RZA's basement beats, but the album's brightest spot didn't belong to either. Rather, it was then underground producer Rock Wilder's synthetic futurism on the track for Rock Wilder that gave the pair their biggest hit. 10 years later, Redman and Method Man released Blackout 2, and while it was certainly a solid album, the original really captured a moment in time when these two were essentially on top of the world. Well, mostly because they were high. Number 11, Raekwon the Chef. Raekwon the Chef only built for Cuban Links Part 2 came out in 2009. Um, and of course, Raekwon the Chef is one of the producers. RZA, The Alchemist, Young Justice, BT, Busta Rhymes, Dr. Dre, Eric Sermon, Ice Water Production. Oh man. Ice Water Productions, Jay Dillon, Mark Batson, Molly Marl, Mathematics, Moss, Necro, Pete Rock, Scram Jones, True Master. And this features Papa Wu, RZA Jizza, Master Killer, Inspector Deck, Ghostface Killer, Method Man, Sugar Bang Bang, Tash Mahogany, Jadakiss, Styles P, Beanie Siegel, Blue Raspberry, Capadonna, Life Jennings, Slick Rick, and Busta Rhymes. Making a sequel to a classic album. Um, Hang on. Let me see. Let me see. Where was I? Where was I? Yeah. Making a classic making a sequel to a classic album is typically a recipe for disaster. That is, of course, unless you are Chef Raekwon. Released in 2009, 14 years after the original, only built for Cuban Links Part 2. Certainly didn't top its predecessor, but it did inject some much needed life into Ray's stalling career. See if any Wu member had dropped the ball in the crew's lean years. It was Ray. His second album, Im, Immo, Immobilarity, devoid of RZA production and consequently sounding synthetic as fuck, was a major dud. He followed that with the more even keeled the Lex Diamond story. But even that project seemed to be missing an overarching theme, something that could tie the songs together. OB4CL2 picked up where he'd originally left off, the street soldier moving up the ladder through a life of crime, and featured production from the likes of RZA, Dr. Dre, Pete Rock, Jay Dilla, The Alchemist, Molly Marl, and others. It made no attempts at being commercial. It was Raekwon finally content with being Raekwon, and fans couldn't have been any happier. Number 10, Method Man to Cal came out in 1994. Of course, Method Man himself, he also is one of the producers, RZA and Fourth Disciple. The features includes Raekwon the Chef, Blue Raspberry, RZA, Inspector Deck, and Street Life. Method Man was made the breakout star of the clan after 36 Chambers. Def Jam Records quickly signed the charismatic frontman and set out to position him as a roughneck MC with sensitive with a sensitive side. Hold on. I might be getting some echoing here. Hold on. Yeah, sorry about that, man. I wanted to lower the mic volume so you don't hear any echoes. All right, so where was I? Yes. To that end, his debut album features songs like "Bring the Pain," "Release Your Delf," and "Mr. Sandman." But then there was also the female-driven "All I Need," which was originally produced by RZA. However, the song would eventually get a remix on courtesy um, Puff Daddy, aka Diddy, that featured Mary J. Blige. The song would be retitled "I'll Be There for You." You are all I need to get by, and would win Method and Mary a Grammy. Tikal is probably not as well regarded as many of the first Wu Tang solo LPs, but listen to it today and try to find a song on it that isn't damn near incredible. We'll wait. Number nine, the late great Old Dirty Bastard, nigga please, came out in 1999. Um, Producers includes Buddha Monk, that nigga Reb, DL, Flavor Hood Productions, the late great Irv Gotti, Mr. Fingers, the Neptunes, RZA, and True Master. This features Khalees, Chris Rock, Pharrell Williams, aka Scorpio P. No, excuse me, Skateboard P. Um, Raising the Zookeeper, 12 o'clock, Lob the Darkman, Shorty Shit Stain, and Little Mo. Released 4 years after his first solo LP, Nigga Please, was initially and maybe still is an album that left people scratching their heads. Was ODB being serious? Partly inspired by Rick James, the late great Rick James, partly inspired by what we're assuming were illegal substances. Nigga Please was an album that made very little sense, nor did it aspire to. Production was handled by Neptune's Irv Gotti and, to a much lesser degree, RZA. And it was, let's keep it real here, a sloppy mess that found ODB barely making any sense or managing to stay on beat. Half the songs sound like freestyles he made up on the spot, yet that's surprisingly the beauty of the project. It was a clear break from Wu-Tang form and found Dirty trying to expand his sonic palette, looking to become more than just a rapper. You could see ODB, the artist, began to round into form here. The vision for what he could have been, although that never truly happened, will always have nigga please. Let's see. Number eight, Gravediggers, 6 Feet Deep, came out in 1994. Hold on. I'm in the middle of a recording. Come on now. Anyway, where I forgot where I left off. My apologies for that. My apologies for that. Let me see. Gosh. Anyway, let me just start over. My apologies. All right, number eight, Gravedigger, 6 Feet Deep, 1994. Um, Producers include Gravediggers, Prince Paul, Gatekeeper, RNS, RZA, Mr. Sam. Features includes Shabazz the Discipline, Killer Priest, Dreddy Kruger, Scientific Shabazz. The Gravediggers were comprised of RZA, Frontman, excuse me, Front One, Too Poetic, late great Too Poetic, RIP, and producer Prince Paul. They were the first true offshoot group to be loosely affiliated with the clan. They did this by way of Bobby Digital's inclusion in the crew, but their music was nothing like anything else the Wu was making at the time. Their first album, Six Deep, was built around haunting themes like suicide, murder, demons, the devil, ghosts, and the afterlife. Um, the group's iconic first single, "Diary of a Madman," with its spooky melody and grim subject matter, effectively ushered in the horrorcore rap genre. Because when RZA told us he chewed his fucking arm off and made an escape, it was quite possibly the most shocking thing we'd ever heard. Number seven, All Dirty Bastard returned to the 36 Chambers, the dirty version, 1990, came out in 1995. The producers include RZA, True Master, Fourth Disciple, All Dirty Bastard, Ethan Ryman, Big Door. Features Method Man, Raekwon the Chef, Jizza, Ghostface Killer, Master Killer, Killer Priest, Buddha Monk, Prodigal Son, Zookeeper, hold on, Murdoch, um, 12 o'clock, Shorty Shitstain, 60-second Assassin. Return to the 36 Chambers. The dirty version introduced Old Dirty Bastard on a much deeper level than we come to know him on the first Wu-Tang Group LP. Here, he was in full character, an uncontrollable enigma who would make up words like shimmy shimmy, shimmy shimmy, yeah, and and then tell tell you about getting burnt by um gonorrhea. One of the best known cuts is Brooklyn Zoo, which was purportedly aimed at a crew who had tried to shoot and kill him in his in his native Brooklyn stomping grounds months earlier. The production on the Grammy nominated LP was mostly handled by RZA and lacks the melodic sensibilities as his later work with Raekwon, Jizza, and Ghostface. Instead, the breakbeat laden tracks are murky and somewhat directionless, which proved to be the perfect backdrop for ODB's spastic ways. Number six, Ghostface Killer Iron Man came out in 1996. Producers include RZA and True Master. Features include Raekwon, The Chef, Capadonna, Inspector Deck, RZA, Master Killer, You God, Method Man, Street Life, The Dephonics, Mary J. Blige, and Force MDs. Just as Ghostface had guest starred on Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links, the chef did the same on Iron Man. So did Capadonna, who was in jail at the time of recording 36 Chambers. Here, they formed a happy trio with Tony Stark's out front and center. The album is chock full of Wu Tang classic cuts like Motherless Child, Winter Wars, Fish, and Wildflower. But perhaps the best known track is the Mary J. Blige assisted All That I Got Is You, a dedication to Ghostface Old Earth, aka his mother. The tune solidified Ghost as a true ghetto poet with a penchant for brutal honesty and self effacate. Hold on, effacing it, effacing wit, self effacing wit. Number five, Wu Tang Clan, Wu Tang Forever, 1997. Producers include RZA, Fourth Disciple, True Master, Inspector Deck. Features Papa Wu, Uncle Pete, Capadonna, Taquita, Street Life. Released 4 years after their first proper group LP, Wu Tang Forever was a chance for the crew to finally be um ahem, ahem reunited. At the time of its release, however, hip hop was beginning to splinter off in two major factions. In one was Wu Tang representing the underground with their 5% speak and dedication to kicking street knowledge. In the other was Diddy and the Bad Boy family, who after the notorious B.I.G.'s, aka Biggie Smalls' death, was beginning to usher in the shiny suit era, complete with radio rap built on happy-go-lucky pop samples. To best illustrate this divergence, there's Forever's first single, Triumph, a 5.5 minute song bearing of any predominant top line melody or choral refrain. Meanwhile, on intro from the project's second disc, the group's de facto leader RZA had this to say: "This ain't no R&B with a whack nigga taking a loop, relooping that shit, thinking it's gonna be the sound of the culture." The album, which didn't feature any clear attempts at radio play, was a brash middle finger to the mainstream. A line had been drawn in the sand, and with 4 million copies sold, Forever proved that you could truly be successful without selling out. Number four, Jizza Liquid Swords, 1985. Producers include RZA and Fourth Disciple, Inspector Deck, Master Killer, late great ODB, Old Dirty Bastard, Life, Ghostface Killer, Killer Priest, RZA, Meth Man, Raekwon the Chef, You God, and Killer Priest. Um, like like on many of the early solo projects from Wu Tang members, Liquid Swords played like a concept album. Released in 1995, a mere 4 months after Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links, it built on that record's themes of street life and the mafia family as rap crew, but having already released an album, Words from the Genius, on Cold Chillin' Records in 1991, Genius and Genius slash Jizza was something of an elder statesman in the clan. He'd been around the block a few times and therefore came off much wiser. Songs like Cold World, Investigative Reports, and Living in the World Today, among others, show that he was less a willing participant, rather a spectator who was jotting down what he saw like a crime reporter. And because he already been through the music industry ringer, there was labels a hilarious song about the record label charade. But he wasn't without tenacious rhymes either, which songs like the title track Duel of the Iron Mike and Shadowboxing proved. Number three, Ghostface Killer Supreme Clientele came out in 2000. Producers includes Black Mo's Art, the the Blacksmith, Carlos Best, Carlos Brody, Chew the Specialist, Hassan, Inspector Deck, Juju, Mathematics, and RZA TMF, Superb, Raekwon, Capadonna, Method Man, Redman, 60 Second Assassin, Superb, Chip Banks, Hellraiser, Solomon, Childs, You God, Jizza, and Master Killer. For their first 5 years, nearly everything the Wu put out was flawless. But then nearly every single member of the group went into a sophomore slump, but not Ghostface Killer. He managed to top his debut album by releasing Supreme Clientele. The album also did something much more important. It reestablished the Wu Tang Clan when fans were focusing on Rockefeller and Rough Riders, crews whose blueprints for music industry dominance were clearly cribbed from the Wu Tang manual. It was on his it was on this album that Ghostface's character began rounding into form. He was a stream of consciousness, lyrical master, a Jackson Pollock with words, and his rhymes sent rap nerds scrambling long before rap genius existed. The beats curated by RZA um, re- recaptured the simple soulfulness that made the first wave of Wu Tang material so compelling. There are a few perfect albums in the world. but this is the one, but this is one of them. Excuse me. All right. So number two, Raekwon only built for Cuban Links 1985. Of course, obviously RZA is the only producer, and features includes Ghostface Killer. You got Inspector Deck, Method Man, RZA, Jizza, Master Killer, Nas, Blue Raspberry, and Capadonna. Very few rap albums can match up to score and breadth of only built for Cuban links. Raekwon's magnum opus plays a movie, a, veri- a veritable mean streets. If Scorsese made hip hop music and details the MC's rise, along with partner Ghostface Killer through the street game. It chronicles their introduction, Knuckleheads and Knowledge God, then their rise, criminology, criminology, and their setbacks, incarcerated Scarfaces and rainy days, then being back in the street doing more dirt, ice water glaciers of ice and spot rushes. The story climaxes with the epic posse cut Wu Gambinos. And finally the now denouement of heaven and hell. Um buoyed by RZA's haunting production and Ray's Donald Goines like pen game, OB4C1 is a thematic toward the force. It's the height of rap as movie approach to a concept album and may never be matched again. And finally, number one, Wu Tang Clan entered the Wu Tang 36 Chambers, came out in 1993. Producers includes RZA, the Method Man, and the late great Old Dirty Bastard. Enter the Wu Tang 36 Chambers is one of the greatest rap albums ever made. Over the course of 12 songs, 13 if you include the skunk mix of Method Man, the nine-man Shaolin Bread collective offers a variety of clever posse cuts, the mystery of chess boxing and protect your neck, among others. Introspection, can it be all so simple? One of my favorite songs, and Tears produces new slang terms, cream, and which is cash rules everything around me, and does it all while sandwiching in samples from classic kung fu movies. You didn't just listen to this album so much as get drawn into the world of Wu Tang through it. The album introduced the characters and the narrative arc that would define the group and its members for years to come. RZA and the musical mastermind, Method Man and the, the charismatic lead, Meth, excuse me, Raekwon the chef and Ghostface, two street scholars, the late great Old Dirty Bastard, and uninhibited Enigma. Inspector Deck, a rapid fire lyricist, Jizza the wise elder statesman, Master Killer, a reserved poet, and you got a unbridled ball of energy. We've come to know each of these members intimately through music over the next 30 years, but their introductory group effort is still, without a doubt, their finest piece of work to date. All right, so all right, I want to go into let's go into some gaming, man. Hold on, let's get into some gaming stuff. Um all right, let's go into some gaming. Some gaming. Let's get into. Let me see. All right, some gaming news. Let's get into. Um, hold on a second here. All right, time for the video games chamber. All right, let's get into this. This is interesting, actually. All right. And this is according to the folks from the Video Games Chronicle. Um, let me see. Yeah, so Sony has confirmed a significant price increase for PlayStation 5 consoles globally, with all models increasing by at least $100. Huh, damn. From April 2nd, the cheapest digital edition PS5 will um retail for $599.99, which and which is all right. So 519.99 euros, an increase of $100, while the premium PlayStation 5 Pro console has seen a 150 price rise to $899, and this one is 789.99 euros, 899.99 cents. Excuse me, 899.99 euros. Um, the increases, which Sony blames on the global economic landscape, mean that the price of the cheapest digital edition PlayStation 5 console has swollen by 50%, which is $200 and 200 euros since the platform launched in 2020. In Sony's home market of Japan, the price of the launch PS5 models has now doubled, though a slightly cheaper Japanese language only model is available. And with continued pressures in the global economic landscape, we've made the decision to increase the prices of PS5 Pro and PlayStation Portal remote player globally. Sony Interactive Entertainment said in a statement, end quote, we we know that price changes impact our community. And after careful evaluation, we found this was a necessary step to ensure we can continue delivering innovative, high quality gaming experiences to players worldwide. Of course, the updated recommended retail prices for PS5 consoles, effective starting April the 2nd, 2026, are as follows. Of course, starting with the US, PS5 is $649.99, which is up from four, which excuse me, up from $549.99. The PS5 edition, excuse me, the PS5 digital edition um is $599.99, up from $499.99. The PS5 Pro, $899.99, up from $699.99. Um, and UK PS5, 569.99 euros, up from 479.99 euros. PS5 digital edition, 519.99 euros, up from 429.99 euros. PS5 Pro, 789.99 euros, up from 699.99 euros. Europe PS5, 649.99 euros, up from 549.99 euros. PS5 digital edition, 599.99 euros, up from 499.99 euros. PS5 Pro, 899.99 euros, up from 799.99 euros. Japan PS5, 97,980 yens. PS5 digital edition, 89,980 yens. PS5 Pro, 137,980 yens. Many industry analysts had expected Sony to further increase console prices this year due to ongoing global manufacturing cost increases. Both Sony and Microsoft previously raised the price of their game consoles last year, driven by the impact of U.S. tariffs, increased memory costs, and broader macroeconomic conditions. However, the previous PS5 price rise introduced last August was just $50 extra per model, making today's rises by far the biggest yet. Microsoft raised the prices of its Xbox consoles twice last year. A standard Xbox Series X consoles now retails for 400, excuse me, $649.99, up $150 since launch. And the cheaper Series S sells for $399.99, an increase of $100. Since Sony's last price revision, memory prices have increased significantly worldwide, with DRAM contract prices reportedly increasing by over 170% year over year. The global economic situation has piled further pressure on game console manufacturers, which historically have have reduced prices over time. At this stage of PlayStation 4's life cycle, the console retailed for as little as $200. It's a challenging market for home consoles in general, with prices higher than ever and consumers squeezed by a higher cost of living. According to Circana data, hardware and software sales in the US had the worst November since tracking began. The average price of new video game hardware in the US in November 2019 was $235 compared to compared to compared with $439 in November 2025. All right, let's see if there's any other gaming news that I forget to talk about. Yes, some gaming stuff is coming out in April. Let's see. All right, so PlayStation 5 gamers have at least 8 big new games to look forward to in April 2026. The PlayStation 5 has had a busy 2026 so far, mainly thanks to third-party games. The end of February saw the highest rated new PS5 game of 2026 released to date in the form of Resident Evil Requiem. And there have been plenty of other multi-plat third-party releases on the system these last few months as well. As far as first party PlayStation games go. MLB The Show 26 recently released for the PS5, though it has earned more mixed reception compared to pre. Hold on, I'm still recording. I'm sorry, folks. I got really interrupted with this whole thing with my with the whole thing with my mother. Wanted wanted to do some type of weird stuff, which I'm not gonna get into. um, I'm sorry. Where did I leave off? I'm sorry. Yes, as far as first party PlayStation games go, MLB The Show 26 recently released for the PS5, though it has earned a more mixed reception compared to previous games in the franchise. Looking ahead, there are some huge first party PS5 games set to launch in the near future. One, excuse me, with one really big one teed up for April 2026, which is coming up. Sorrows is arguably the headlining new PS5 game coming in April 2026, set to launch exclusively for Sony's latest console on April 30th. Sorrows is the next game from Housemark, the studio behind the critically acclaimed roguelike game Returnal. Sorrows looks to be an evolution of Returnal's concept with flashy bullet hell style combat mixed with a breathtaking sci-fi world and an engrossing narrative. Hold on, let me get comfy here. Let me see. 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 Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me see. Let me see. So, yeah, Sorrows looks to be an evolution of Returnal's concept with flashy bullet hell style combat mixed with an heartbreaking, excuse me, with a breathtaking sci-fi world and engrossing narrative. What's been shown of Sorrows so far has been incredibly impressive, and I personally can't wait to try it for myself in April 2026. So, upcoming PS5 games for April 2026 includes Darwin's Paradox April 2nd, Starfield April 7th, Mouse PI for Hire April 16th, Pragmata April 17th, Tides of Tomorrow April 22nd, Nevernest to Evernest, April 29th. Invincible um VS April 30th, followed by Sorrows April 30th. But while Sorrows may be getting the most attention from PS5 owners, when it comes to the April 2026 new releases, it's far from the only game launching next month. The month will get started with a brand new release from Konami launching on April 2nd, titled Darwin's Paradox. Konami's new game is a side-scrolling platformer where players take on the role of an octopus. Trailers shown so far have highlighted the game's quirky vibes, and it looks like it will be a fun time for platformer fans. 5 days later, on April 7th, PS5 gamers will get the chance to play Starfield, developed by Bethesda. Hold on. Bethesda. Starfield is a massive open world sci-fi game that effectively takes the game mechanics from titles like Fallout and The Elder Scrolls and puts them in space. Starfield's PS5 launch will coincide with a huge new update called Free Lanes that revamps the game by adding big new features with a paid expansion called Terran Armada dropping the same day. Starfield has been console exclusive to Xbox Series for years, but PS5 gamers will be able to play a bigger and potentially better version of the game right out the box. Then on April 16th, PS5 gamers will get to play Mouse PI for Hire, an FPS with a unique art style that resembles classic cartoons. Mouse PI for Hire was once set for a March 2026 release was delayed to April. So hopefully it was worth the wait. Conversely, one of the April 2026 PS5 games is actually releasing earlier than originally expected. Capcom has moved Pragmata's release date up to April 17th, meaning fans won't have to wait as long to see if the company's new sci-fi shooter game lives up to expectations. On April 22nd, PS5 gamers can check out Tides of Tomorrow, an intriguing new game published by THQ Nordic. Tides of Tomorrow is all about exploring an ocean planet with the ability to see how other players interacted with the world. What other players do in their own games of Tides of Tomorrow impacts other players' games, influencing NPC reactions and potentially making things harder or easier for everyone else. It's a fascinating idea, and it will be interesting to see if it can stick the landing. There will also hold on, let me get rid of this. There will also be a new Diablo 4 expansion released in April with Lord of Hatred launching on April 28th. Tides of Tomorrow and all the other games mentioned so far are paid releases, but a big new free to play game is also hitting the PS5 in April. Nervousness to Everness is an open world action RPG with a gotcha system that has often been described as an anime take on Grand Theft Auto. Whether it lives up to that promise remains to be seen, but PS5 gamers can try for free on April 29th. And finally, there's Invincible VS, the hit Prime TV adaptation of Robert Kirkman's comic book is in the midst of its fourth season, which will be wrapping up about a week before the video game launches. Invincible VS is a fighting game that pits the franchise's characters against each other in action-packed battles. So there you go, folks. There you go. Right there. There you go. Once again, my apologies. I had to put it on mute because of my I had to put it on mute because of my fucking mother. All right. So this is not on you listeners out there. This is on my mother. So I do apologize, man. I'm trying to make sure that I start my recordings, my podcast recordings with no badly, man. I got to do it. anyway, Anyway, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this episode up in a bow, man. All right. So let me get to so ridiculous, man. Sorry about that. Let me set this up. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's get to this. Stream choices on the go. Let's do this. All right. All right, guys. Make sure you follow the entertainment review show Meticulous Values podcast along along with Facebook, Bluesky Social, Threads, and Instagram. And you can also follow my other podcast shows also on the same social media platforms. My sports entertainment review. Hold on, my sports edition show, excellent fun vibrant talks podcast, alongside with um my comedy Off the Meat Rat Chains New York Avenue podcast. You can also follow me on Threads and the Gram as well. G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Now, I do want to go over where you can listen to the episodes on audio streaming platforms and along with YouTube and the podcast feed links and the link tree. When you click on there, you're gonna see Linktree / Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast 5. And this includes Audible, Odyssey, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Overhaul FM Podcast, Pandora, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podo Polo, Panorama Podcast, Index Podcast, Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podcatcher, Podcast Republic, Snip. You can also listen. You can also listen and add the podcast to your Spotify playlist. Be sure to press the notification bell so you know when each episode is going to be dropping on Spotify and audio streaming platforms. And you can also listen on Spotify for creators, TuneIn Radio, Fountain, Good Pods, iHeartRadio, the number one app where you can listen to your favorite music artists such as rappers, R&B singers, pop stars, in other music genres, your favorite your favorite AM and FM radio stations, and of course, you can listen to the podcast episodes for free. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download iHeartRadio. All you need to do is download iHeartRadio onto your iPhones, Android phones, iPads, Android tablets, alongside with alongside with laptops are included, such as such as Apple Mac laptops, and alongside with Dell laptop models, which includes Windows 10 and Windows 11. All right, and also make sure you click on the on the entertainment YouTube channel page of Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. Make sure you leave a like and a comment alongside with spreading the word of mouth to your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, people you're cool with from work. And also share the Linktree link with the audio podcast link feeds. And of course, be sure to also also you can also listen to the episodes while you are on the road to your destinations, whether you are driving, whether you are going to classes, whether you are going to work, whether you are coming from your destinations of where you work. So that way you have something to listen to. So that way you don't have to worry about listening to political bullshits. All right. And enable alerts so you'll be able to know when I'll be on the air um via live stream. So you can catch new recordings of each video podcast episode recording live streams on a weekly basis. All right. And of course, don't forget to leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, alongside with a positive review. It really helps me out as the host with the most. And of course, be sure to share this. You can share the video. You can share this with everybody. Um, make sure you make sure you also um, make sure you also tune in to new episodes on a weekly basis. And of course, new episodes will be dropping on Tuesdays Fridays and Saturdays. All right. Um, and yeah, so there you go, right there. You go, right there, folks. Listen, um, that's gonna do it for me. I'm your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, rhymes with now or later, and I appreciate every single one of you for taking the time to listen to the episodes. Um, Thank you to 35 subscribers. Make sure you spread the word, share this, and help me increase the subscribers on the YouTube channel page. All right. And also, may I add, make sure you subscribe to my other YouTube channel pages, my sports YouTube channel page, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. I had to redo episode 120 because I had an issue of a technical difficulty with my microphone. And also subscribe to my primary YouTube channel page, G Money Stacks triple five, for Off the Meat Rat Chains New York Avenue podcast episodes, and and of course, be sure to catch up on the episodes. Make sure you take a listen. And of course, you can listen to the podcast episodes. You can listen, stream, and watch every episode, every episode, including iHeartRadio and YouTube, whenever you get to listen, stream, and watch your podcast. All right. All right, man. Remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. It's not going to be given to you on a fucking silver platter. And of course, um, podcasting is a grind and a marathon. It's not a sprint. And if you plan on starting a podcast, you can also not overthink of what's the best time or perfect time to actually record. All right. No matter what's going on in your life, just go ahead and record. All right. And of course, be yourself behind the microphone um while you are recording your episodes and topics. And of course, like I always say, find your niche, do what you love creatively, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And that's gonna do it, man. Um, I'll see y'all next time on the flip side. Stay tuned for more new entertainment topics in the next episode. I appreciate every single one of y'all, despite the crazy interruptions that I had to put it on mute. I do apologize, because of my damn mother. And yeah, man. I'll see y'all next time. I hope y'all enjoyed the nice weather. I know I am going to try my best to actually go out on Monday to do my job opportunity mission to fill out an application for Western Beef. So yeah, April is around the corner. April Fools is around the corner. And be careful what type of tricks you pull up to your significant others, people you love, whatsoever, and just you know enjoy yourself, enjoy your weekend. I'll see y'all next time. Peace and one love. Y'all could have listened to any other podcast in the whole world, but you chose to listen to this podcast right here, the entertainment platform of Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, man. And I, um, and for those who are starting a podcast, I want to wish you luck. Don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about the number of subscribers. I know it could be discouraging that it's not increasing right away, but as the saying goes, Rome in New York wasn't built in a day. All right, so it takes time to actually build up, though. I'm out of here. Signing off. Peace and one love. In the words of Ken Starr, have a good night, everybody.